This is the Nomin backpack from Veilance, which is a sub-brand of Arcteryx. Arcteryx is known for their technology, for the outdoor clothing and equipment, and the Veilance sub-brand is kind of the fashion line. The sub is kind of minimalistic, very stylish, and this backpack, it's probably one of their flagship products. Now, right now is 2022 January, around this time. If you are a bag person, you would know this backpack retail for $800 USD. So clearly, this is not your average backpack that you can get from a store. And if you are looking at this backpack or getting one, that's because your finances are well taken care of and you are buying this with some disposable income. So let's ignore the price and look at why this bag is so special. I think there are really two kinds of audience that really appreciate this bag. One is, of course, if you are a Veilance fan, this is almost a no-brainer. It goes very well with the rest of the line. The other group is people like me. It's a bag enthusiast that like this particular type of bag. So typical description of this bag is it's minimalist. But if you think of minimalism, at least I think of flat surfaces, metal, glass, sharp corners, something that it's almost cold, dare I say. And this bag, I think, is the exact opposite of that. But still, it is really, really nice. For me, this is minimalism meets kind of a natural nature design. This bag reminds me of a pebble, especially in this gray color, which I think is the better color of the two. Let's look at the construction and the design, and you know what I mean. If you look at the bag, there are these seams. If I can get it to stand out here. All right, that's here, here, and here. And then the bottom has this two line, and the front has this two line. So the way this is cut, if it is fully pushed out, it has this kind of a turtle shell look, dare I say. And then if you open it up, notice how smooth the zippers are. It is not quite a clamshell, right? Because of the way this is done, you almost have to work to open this up. But to me, that is part of the appeal. So this AC2 fabric, it's abrasion resistant, extremely weatherproof. These seams are taped from the inside. And opening it literally reminds me of all this as I do this. So the tactile feel is there. Right? The tape seams are exposed. There's no attempt in hiding it. So every time you open this bag, you're reminded of all the technology and the design thought that goes into it. The interior is white and gray. So it is calming for sure, but it is also high vis. So you can see what is inside the bag, that the high contrast is there for you to locate the items inside, but it is not shouting at you with a bright orange or bright yellow interior. So this is all going back to the minimalist design philosophy. Let's talk organization. So typically I prefer bags to have more internal organization, more pockets. And this one, all it has is this pouch up top. I would not even have considered this bag until I actually met up with somebody local here in Boston, and he kindly brought his Veilance to show me, and that got me interested. So anyway, the fact that this bag does not have any organization in the front panel is because it will interfere with this design. And this design really is very well done, and it is kind of the essence of this bag. So I am happily trading the lack of any front zip pockets for this design. The top pocket is very large. I would say it's definitely over a liter. It's not very deep. And this is very, very useful. This is just like the top pouch slash pocket on the GR2. So both designs I like a lot. It lets me put some of the more frequently used items separate from the rest of the bag and easily get it from the front. So what I put in here these days are my, of course, pandemic essentials, micro EDC pouch with other stuff in it, and then headphones. And these items stay up top and I can get to it easily. For the rest of the bag, since I'm a pouch person anyway, it is not really a big deal. My trusty Air Slim pouch, which I always talked about, really, really great pouch. And then my collection of D-Made bags pouches. This is my charging kit and this is my snack kit actually. And those just go in there. Water bottle can easily goes in on the side. And that's it. Now you can see because of the fabric, and that is kind of such a good seal there, but if it presses it down, it will mold to the content. So this is my pebble slash natural look, right? It conforms to the content of the bag. In a way, if you think about it, depending on what you put in there, you kind of get a new look every day. So I'm shaking the bag on purpose. The shape of the bag, again, reminds me that I should pack it with wider, heavier, larger items on the bottom, and then smaller and lighter things on top. So again, the form informs the function of the bag, which is nice. If you look at the top of the bag, right, it is slimmer than the bottom by a great deal. And since the top is where I interact with the bag the most, this is when I open the zippers and so forth, right? It looks very slick on the top, which is another reason why I like this shape. So I keep going back to, you can call it a tortoiseshell look, but to me this is kind of like the pebble look. There's plenty of room. The bag is about 26, 27 liters. I barely filled it. I can take this is a small puffy vest. I can drop it in there. I can either leave it near the top, right, which should still give it a thin silhouette, or I can push it to the bottom, kind of stuff out the bottom, and then it has the bulkier bottom look. I obviously prefer the slimmer look, so I usually leave it close to the top. So that is the whole organic nature and the main compartment. Notice that again, there's no certainly no moly pouch webbing. There are no place for you to hook on anything. So if you have a hero clip like many of us, there really is no ways to put that, maybe except on this top handle. Now let's look at the laptop compartment. I've added a additional zipper here so that I can tell when these guys are at this corner. And the reason is the back compartment actually has two different compartments. The top part is its own little pocket, and then the rest of it is the electronics or the laptop compartment. So let me open this for you. Right, so this opens up into a pouch. The two fabric wings that forms a pocket. So here is where I put lesser used items because this is a little bit fuzzy to get into, right? So usually I put my mouse in there and my wallet because I don't really need to get to it that much. So this stays on this top pocket. And then I'll leave the zipper right here. The rest of this opens up to the laptop compartment. Now, I don't think I can actually show this to you. I'll try. So you can hear there's a strong piece of cover here. There is actually a box, so it goes kind of top, bottom. That's a thick foam top lid, and then there is padding on the very bottom. So when the back is closed, there are actually some magnets in there. You can maybe see there's a little bit of indentation where the magnets are, but anyway, this box just kind of closes on its own, and basically it's a little mini foam lined box that sits right there, and it is space enough for, certainly, for my 14-inch MacBook Pro. So this is the latest generation as of 2021-22, the square MacBook Pro, 14-inch, the one that have all the ports. And this goes in that box quite easily with, I don't know, maybe 2 inches in the top and another inch in the front. So I think a 16-inch MacBook Pro will fit there as well. Now, the box is not that tall. The inside space is maybe 3/4 of an inch. So I cannot fit both the Mac and my 11-inch iPad Pro, especially with the case, inside that box. So this goes above the box, and it sits basically between the box and the back of the front compartment. So again, can't see very well, but there is a soft piece of fabric right there, and it's intended maybe as a paper folder, so you can put paper behind this fabric to hold it down as well. But for me, again, it's my Mac and the iPad Pro. So there you have it, fully loaded. Sometimes I can get it to stand up, sometimes I don't. So okay, it doesn't, not today. And again, that's because of the shape. You know, I think if it is empty, it will stand up, but in general, it won't. Minor complaint. Finally, let's look at the back of the bag. So if you look at the straps, you will think, oh my gosh, this is so thin. It really is just a very thin piece of fabric that is actually padded. So whatever is inside, right, it's cushioned, but it's very thin. The adjustment goes into this buckle inside that is very, very hard to see. So it's threaded inside. Getting it adjusted, it's a little bit of a pain, but you know, once you get it done once, I tend to forget it, so it's fine. The key thing though is there is a frame sheet on the back, and this actually feels pretty stiff on the back when you're wearing the pack. And because of it, the back is extremely comfortable. So under normal load, right, this is not a go rocking kind of bag. It actually feels very, very nice on the back. So I'm 5'7", that's about 170 centimeters. And honestly, the back feels very, very comfortable. So final thoughts. The Nomin here, people tend to compare this with the Rovmia, which is a handmade bag from Japan made with Dyneema. That bag is beautiful. It really captured the Japanese aesthetics very well. Between the two, I personally like the Nomin more. I think this to me is a little bit more functional. Once I get past the lack of organization, or at least the perceived lack of organization, I really like the look of this bag. And as I said, it's very practical. All the compartment works exactly as intended. Even with this very, very light look to it, the bag is very rugged and very comfortable. So this Nomin is now one of my favorite bags in this 26 liter range.